Well, hello, Magic Tribe. Welcome back. I just felt this weird need to hop on and say hi to all of you. So I'll try to catch your comments as you pop on. I'm not going to pull cards today, but I did kind of want to come on and talk a little bit about all of this crazy energy that's been going on lately. So things have been super up in the air for us. We ended up having to foster out our dogs, but a friend of ours took them, so that was great. We also did find a place to go. We're going to be staying with friends for a little while and helping them out on their property. Hello, Lacey. And so things are really changing. So I wanted to let all of you know I have not abandoned you, and I will return to doing regular YouTube videos probably shortly, and you're gonna love the new location. I probably won't do as many lives, or if I do them, I'll probably do them here on Facebook, just because you're no longer allowed to upload live on YouTube anymore from your mobile phone unless you have 1,000 subscribers. And well, as cool as I am, I'm not quite that cool yet. Maybe someday the Magic Tribe will grow, and well, I'll be able to return to doing live videos from my phone there. But until then, I'm probably just going to be uploading pre-recorded videos on the YouTube, and then we'll save the live stuff for here on Facebook. So if you do want to interact with me live, you can watch for the lives here. And then I'll probably upload those later on to YouTube, depending on what the content is. I won't always be hopping on here with super awesome YouTube quality stuff, but I think that's pretty much it for the update. So I will be moving over the next few days, and things are going to be kind of crazy, but stick with us, and we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. This next new moon, I think on the 31st, which is also the second one we've had this month, so that's kind of crazy and doesn't happen very often, is called a black moon. This is really going to be sealing a lot of closure for a lot of us. We are figuring out what works and what doesn't work for all of us right now, and it is really starting to kind of, I don't want to say, well, it's causing a lot of tower moments. I mean, there's not really any other way to go around it. We're all having to deal with those things that we've been kind of sweeping under the rug and pushing out of the way and saying we'll deal with it later. And well, now is later. Saturn isn't giving us any time to renegotiate that. It is now become put up or shut up time as far as our choices go. So the things that are working are getting better, and the things that are not working are, well, getting worse. And they're going to continue to get worse until we actually face that and conquer it head on. This also includes relationships with people too, not just, general circumstances in our lives too. The new moon is going to start another new cycle for all of us. It's also the official close of eclipse season. I think most of the planets will be out of retrograde as well, so things should start looking a little bit better, probably more towards next week, but it's definitely, you're going to be noticing a little bit of a lightening of the energy, definitely starting today, if you did not already notice it yesterday. The full moon in Leo is going to be the biggest turning point, though, and I don't remember exactly what day that is. I want to say it's on the 16th, but I'm not positive, so don't quote me on that one. But I'll be doing a video on that one too as well when we get closer to it. Right now we kind of want to close out this whole, black moon eclipse period and dealing with what our shadows are showing us. And hi Connie. And we're not being given the choice to not do it this time. So we're either doing it or it's going to fall apart in front of you whether you like it or not. So definitely make sure that you are being solid in your intentions. Okay, so making your intentions known are right. And you're going to keep noticing it getting easier too. But the things that have been hard are getting harder. If we kind of just let go of our control of it and kind of let it go where it needs to go, though, it does get easier. The problem is a lot of us don't want to let go of the control of our situation. And, so it keeps just getting worse and worse and worse and worse until, we don't have any control to begin with. But by then the situation has blown up so much more than it normally would have, just because, we couldn't relinquish that last word, or, we had to be right. And right now this isn't about being right. This is about figuring out what works and what works for everyone, not just for you. But that's a hard realization for a lot of people to come to, and admitting our own personal responsibility for everything that's happened to us is really the first key in healing. If you can admit that, there maybe have been some lesson that your soul needed you to learn by experiencing that particular situation, it gets a little bit easier to deal with that. And then later on, you can look back and probably realize exactly why that happened. You needed that information for some time period later on. But, in the heat of it, we're like, oh, why is this happening to me? And, everything always goes wrong. And, we start getting into these whole negative thought patterns. And then we make it even worse by dwelling in a lower vibration instead of going, okay, I have faith that this is going to get better. I know that the universe has my best interests at heart, and maybe I don't know what's best, and that's really hard for a lot of us to admit sometimes, that we don't know what's best. But we don't. We only know what our human selves have already experienced, or what our ancestral selves have experienced. But as far as our brain goes, our brain can't tell us anything new. It can only tell us what's already occurred. And people need to start establishing a better connection with their hearts so that they can intuit whether or not the situation that they're getting themselves into is one that's good for them or not. Ultimately, we know that right from the get-go. So our assignment, I guess, for this week is learning how to trust yourself, not other people, but learning how to trust that little voice inside of you that says, yeah, I think this is a good idea, or that really isn't a good idea and you shouldn't do that. But are you listening to the voice that's coming from here, or are you listening to this voice here? Because they really are two different voices. This one can't tell you anything you don't already know and haven't already experienced. It can only reiterate those things to you. Your heart, however, can search through the field of vibration and align you with the correct experience for your soul's evolvement, which is what we're all trying to do. And the more we can realize that each and every single one of us are on our own journeys and stop pointing fingers and judging, ourselves included, the freer and easier of a way it becomes. Because then we're, again, doing the will of Source and not the will of our ego. So that's a good question for everyone today. Are you following your soul, Or are you listening to your ego? So, that's the question of the day, everyone. I love each and every one of you. And I'm going to try and pop on and do a live later with a little bit of a card pull. So, watch for it. I'm going to try and come on maybe around 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want a free card pulled, pop on and see me live. Bye, everyone. Be good. Know you are loved beyond measure. And you are the light that you seek. Bye now. Be good. Be good to each other. But most of all, be good to yourself.